Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. 32 teams, 32 days, and today we're talking about the Detroit Lions, a team that is finally looking to ascend to being Super Bowl contenders. They fired Jim Caldwell. They brought in the New England Patriots defensive coordinator Matt Patricia, who may or may not be guilty of sexual assault, and they're ready to compete for the Super Bowl, compete for the playoffs for real. Will they get there? We're going to discuss it today, discuss this team's strengths, discuss this team's weaknesses, give you my statistical projections for the offensive players of this football team, give you my bold predictions for this football team, and end this video with my official win-loss prediction for the Detroit Lions. So let's start by talking about their strengths, and let's start by talking about their quarterback, Matthew Stafford, who is absolutely a top 10 quarterback in the NFL every single year in the NFL, giving over 4,000 passing yards, prolific passing statistics, and last year was no different. 29 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, over 4,400 passing yards for Matthew Stafford, even 1 year throwing for over 40 passing touchdowns. This guy is legit. Will we ever have that type of production again? We're not sure. We'd love to see it. Probably not this upcoming year, but I believe he is capable of that. He is a leader for this football team. He is the one mainstay for this football team, and without him, the Lions would probably have some 2, 3, 4 win seasons over the past number of years, but they haven't because he continues to will them to win games, and as long as he's healthy, I expect that to continue to be the case. We look at the next strength for this football team, and I'm going to presume a little bit here, but I'm going to go with the wide receivers, okay? And a little presumption here is just there, but I feel comfortable with the presuming I'm doing. Let's start with the two guys that we already know, Golden Tate and Marvin Jones. Both men having over 1,000 receiving yards respectively last season. Marvin Jones over 1,118.0 yards per catch. What a number that was. I'm not expecting that again, but very impressive in his own right. And then Golden Tate continued to be a consistent weapon for this offense. But then who are the other guys? How about Kenny Golladay? And I'm buying the Kenny Golladay hype. I'm drinking the Kenny Golladay Kool-Aid. Okay, I'm drinking it as blue Kool-Aid, and it tastes good. It tastes like blue raspberry. I believe that this guy's going to have a good season this upcoming year for the Detroit Lions. And they also have TJ Jones, who is a guy that is able to be a decent number 4 option. So I like the wide receivers in Detroit. There is some conjecture here. There is some presumption because it's presuming that Kenny Golladay takes a huge step forward in his second season. I believe he will, but if you don't, I understand why. I understand why you would disagree. If you think the Lions wide receiver core is not quite a strength, but to me, for this football team, I think it is. I think it is their second best positional unit. And with that, so we move on to the weaknesses for this football team, though. And again, we have to look at the linebackers. I'm not quite yet sold on the linebackers. Now, yes, we have Jarrad Davis, who had, really some good points in his rookie season. Has some ups, has some downs. You're expecting a second-year leap, but for right now, I don't think he's a very good linebacker in this league. They have Devon Kennard, formerly of the New York Giants. And Giants fans will tell you he has his limitations. The Giants are still begging and searching and yearning for linebackers. If Devon Kennard was any good, they would have kept him, but they had no problem moving on from him. Okay, and then Christian Jones as well for the linebackers here in Detroit. It's a very meh linebacker core. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't get any confidence in me. Now, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, formerly of the University of Tennessee, hopefully he can take a step forward in his second season, and maybe I'm going to get a little more excited. But for right now, we're really relying a lot on Jerry Davis to take his a second step. And although I have faith in Kenny Golladay, I don't quite have faith in Jarrad Davis. But again, we will see when it comes to that unit. We also have another weakness when it comes to the tight ends. I don't like the tight ends in Detroit, and how can anyone right now? They let go of Eric Ebron, and that made sense, right? He was a bust for you. I don't think he's going to be a bust in general. I think the Colts are going to revive his career somewhat, but for you, he was an absolute bust. So this is what we're talking about now. We're talking about Levine Toilolo, okay, who, yes, despite his name, is not a very good linebacker in this league. He has an exciting name, doesn't have very exciting play. Luke Wilson and Michael Roberts, okay, they look like they're going to be the starting two guys. Who? I mean, come on, Luke Wilson. This guy occasionally made catches for the Russell Wilson Seattle Seahawks when Russell Wilson would extend plays and then to find Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson never really got open on his own. It was more of a schematic thing. He's not a great route runner, not a very athletic tight end there. And Michael Roberts is absolutely meh. So I don't love the tight ends in Detroit at all. And then we have another weakness, and to me, it's not that bad. And I'm encouraged. And I think it may not end up being weakness. In fact, I think it won't. But right now, I have to still mention it. I have to still mention it because it needs to be proven more than the wide receivers did. The wide receiver Kenny Golladay, that's one guy. We're still waiting on these running backs. We need a number of these running backs to still prove themselves. So yeah, running back is still a weakness for the Detroit Lions. And again, I think it's going to be better. But let's start with the one reason why it might be, and that's Kerryon Johnson out of Auburn, whom the Detroit Lions drafted in the 2018 NFL Draft. I'm not a huge Kerryon Johnson fan, but I think he's going to be a decent running back for the Detroit Lions. Who else do we have? LeGarrette Blount, who is getting phased out at this point. Like, he had a resurgent year for the New England Patriots, and then for the Eagles, he's able to do some stuff. But, I mean, come on, he's done. He can do some goal line stuff, make no doubt about it. But you're not going to get great production from LeGarrette Blount. He's going to play a specific role, and that's it. And then Amir Abdullah, he's complaining. He wants more snaps. He didn't think he got enough snaps last year. We'll see. The problem is this running back group, Jesus, they averaged 3.3 or maybe 3.4 yards per carry last season. Just awful. And for the past number of years, they've been last in the league when it comes to yards per carry. Yes, we're excited about Kerryon Johnson. We're excited about LeGarrette Blount and the goal line possibilities that he possesses. But after the running back position has been so awful for this team, I can't buy into it. And the Lions would have drafted a Saquon Barkley, we wouldn't have this conversation. But they drafted Kerryon Johnson, who has looked good. He looked good in the first preseason game, but can I now say no longer a weakness? We're done with it. Kerryon Johnson. I can't do that. Still a weakness for me. So the positions on this team, the positions in the middle, to me, let's start with the offensive line. Left tackle, Taylor Decker. Can we get him back for a full, healthy season? I think we can, and if he can't, I still think he has Pro Bowl potential. So if he can come back, stay healthy, we'll be fine there. Look at the left guard position, Frank Ragnow. Okay, draft pick this year for the Detroit Lions. Can he come in and do well? I'm intrigued. I'm encouraged. I liked his film. We're going to see what he does. Ryan Glasgow at center. Okay, I like him at center. No problems there. TJ Lang at right guard. Good poach from the Green Bay Packers. No problem there. And then right tackle, Ricky Wagner from the Baltimore Ravens. No problem there. So I don't think it's a strength, though, because again, we still have to see Frank Ragnow, how he's going to do well at left guard. And we still have to see if Taylor Decker can ascend to being a better left tackle at this point and really come back from his last season when he was injury riddled. But I think it should be fine. I think we'll have no problems. No problems there. So with that said, the defensive line, Ezekiel Ansah, can he return to his previous form? I think he's going to do well. Maybe not particularly great, but I think he's going to do well. And then Ricky John Francois, who you guys took from the Indianapolis Colts, or actually from the Washington Redskins. Hey, I like this guy. He's not a very prolific guy, not going to get you a ton of sacks or anything, but I think he's a decent starter. And then Darius Slay, a cornerback, I love him. Glover Quinn, I love him. So there's decent spots all over the place. Maybe not quite strengths, but there's decent spots and well-filled spots all over this team for the Detroit Lions. With that, so we move on to my statistical projections for the Detroit Lions, and let's start with quarterback Matthew Stafford. 4,200 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a 94.0 passer rating. This will be a very good year for Matthew Stafford and pretty much on par with what he's given us in recent years and pretty much throughout his entire career. Really right between his 2016 and 2017 campaigns is what I'm projecting here. Running back Kerryon Johnson. Okay, I think he's going to have a decent year. This is a decent year I'm projecting. 200 carries, 825 yards, but only 4 touchdowns, since I think they will give LeGarrette Blount some goal line carries. It just depends. What will be the carries? How will they distribute the carries? Will they give carries to LeGarrette Blount? Will they give carries to Amir Abdullah? Will Amir Abdullah make the team? Right, these are still questions we don't quite know, so I don't even feel very comfortable with this projection, but this is what I have. And then wide receiver Golden Tate, 75 catches, 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. So less than 1,000 yards, but I still think he's going to lead the way. I think it's going to be like 900 Golden Tate, like 800 someone else. That's one of my bold predictions, and then like 800 someone else. So let's get into my bold predictions. Let's start with that. Kenny Golladay shines, and he's going to produce more than Marvin Jones. I got Kenny Golladay getting like 850 yards, maybe 900, and then Marvin Jones only getting like 850, 800. All right, that is what I think will be the distribution in terms of passing yards for the Detroit Lions. And then also consider Kerryon Johnson. He's actually a running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. I mean, not Amir Abdullah, who can do it in theory, but he never plays enough to actually do it. This guy can actually do it. So there's going to be less production in terms of these wide receivers, but more production from Kenny Golladay, as he will obviously ascend from his last year, his rookie year. Bold prediction number 2, the Detroit Lions defeat the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. I believe in you. Although Matthew Stafford is never able to beat winning teams, I think he will do it now. It is in Detroit. It is early in the season. The Patriots will be a little still hungover from their Super Bowl loss. I think the Detroit Lions are able to get it done, defeat the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. You love that prediction, Lions fans, but you don't love this. And it hurt me too. The Detroit Lions finished last in the NFC North. Now let me please explain myself. Please listen to me now. This was a hard prediction for me. Whenever I'm sitting down and I'm mathematically counting wins and losses, I don't just throw numbers 10, 11, 12, 13 because you're going to give out too many wins. This needs to be mathematically correct, mathematically tangible and real and factual here. You got to make some cuts. And I initially had the Lions at 10-6 making the playoffs, no problem. Then I had to start making some cuts, man, and it hurt. I look at this Lions team right now, and I think it's time for the Bears to be better. I like their addition of Matt Nagy at the offensive head coach position. He's their head coach, former offensive guy. He's going to help Mitchell Trubisky. You look at their running backs right now, Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen. Look at their wide receivers, Allen Robinson, and the other guys that are doing well right now for them, Anthony Miller. They're dangerous. Their defense is better than yours to me. They're dangerous to me. The Vikings, you know they're good, and you know with Aaron Rodgers, the Packers are going to win 10-plus games if he's healthy, period. I look at the Lions, and I still say that they're the worst team in the NFC. But make no doubt about this. Listen to me now. The best case scenario for this team, I think they could actually be really good. I think this could be the NFL sleeper, and as soon as they start winning games, I'm going to buy into them because you have Matthew Stafford, and you have these two wide receivers in Marvin Jones and Golden Tate. And if they're doing well, that means Kenny Golladay is even better than I thought. Maybe he's their best wide receiver now. And Kerryon Johnson is better than I thought. Maybe he's got the Kareem Hunt of last season. If Kerryon Johnson could be the Kareem Hunt of last season, the Lions can win 12 games. I'm telling you, 12-4. If Kerryon Johnson can be Kareem Hunt of last season, 12-4 is the best case scenario. And you guys know I don't do this. I normally go 2 wins higher than what I'm actually predicting. I'm going 4. I think it's possible. And then worst case scenario, I think it's only 7-9. I'm going on the lower end. The Lions are just one of those unfortunate teams I just had to cut down. And I couldn't justify having the Lions getting a winning record as the worst team in the NFC North. I couldn't do that. When was the last time that happened in the NFL? So you guys just got the short end of the stick. But make no doubt about it, the Lions will be in the playoff race. I'm telling you, the Lions will be in the playoff race, and make no doubt about it, they are a legit Super Bowl contender. And I believe if they're in the AFC, they go 11-5, maybe even 12-4, be the second best team in the AFC. I honestly think they'd be the at least third best team in the AFC. I'd have them right behind the Patriots and Steelers, maybe better than the Patriots, to be honest with you. I think being in the NFC, being in the NFC North, it screws them. I think that's what screws them. But make no doubt about it, I like the Lions this year. Despite my 8-8 prediction, I know it's going to come back to bite me, but I had to make some cuts, some difficult cuts. And look, I'm still teetering. You guys know I changed my predictions. Do not be surprised if September I just say screw it. Screw the 49ers, so I'm currently drinking their Kool-Aid. I'm going to switch from red Kool-Aid to blue Kool-Aid. Give me the Lions Kool-Aid. I might do it. I'm considering right now as I sit. But right now, on August 21st when I'm recording this, I gotta stick with my 49ers. I gotta stick against the Lions, but I might change it tomorrow. I might. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Detroit Lions. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.